Welcome to the channel and welcome to our next Madden 24 franchise. It is going to be with the Carolina Panthers. That is who we are picking here. And the Panthers, they had a terrible season. They only won 2 games this past season. And they just hired a new coach, Dave Canales, from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Canales was a offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past season and basically revived Baker Mayfield's career, honestly. I mean, the work that they did on that Tampa Bay offense at times was really good. I mean, I saw it firsthand when they played the Packers, just completely decimated them, sliced them apart. Baker had, like 400 yards in that game. So we're going to be using a real draft class for this franchise, for this initial draft. And this one's going to be from Falcons ATL. Go look this one up. I believe he's uploaded it on YouTube, kind of showing off the draft class. But it looks like a pretty good draft class, actually. So we take a look at this roster. Not great, honestly. We are missing some guys on the offensive line due to injury right now, but still. Taylor Moton is maybe the best offensive lineman on this team, and he's going to be 30 by the time our first season starts. I'm not really sure. This will be called year 0. When we get to next season, that'll be year 1, but he is getting older and has a lot of cap to his name. Is a guy that I might consider trading, actually, just to get off of the cap, potentially, but not 100% sure on that. Bryce Young had a not so good rookie year. 11 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. So it wasn't like he threw a bunch of interceptions. Kind of looked that way early, but eventually calmed down with that. But it's just the offense was just ineffective with 11 touchdowns, under 3,000 yards. Not very good. The defense here, there's some pieces here. J.C. Horn, of course. Jeremy Chin is a decent player. Von Bell is a guy we might have to consider trading. Derek Brown, Brian Burns, of course. We are going to change the scheme, actually, and we're going to go to a 3-4 here. I prefer building 3-4 defenses. That's just kind of how I like building them out. I feel like I have an easier time doing that. I feel like with Madden, more of the players are kind of just in that 3-4 build already, in terms of like how they're distributed out with edge rushers and things like that. So it's kind of just a little bit easier to just kind of, put them together like that, honestly. So Brian Burns is an impending free agent. That number 0 is going away next season. Not going to be wearing that. Any franchise team I control, we're using the old NFL number rules. So I pretty much forced one loss the playoffs up until the NFC Championship game or the NFC and AFC Championship games. And then I let the CPU kind of decide how to go. And then this Madden thinks the 49ers will beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. That seems pretty realistic. I think that'd be a really good game, honestly. I think those are the 2 best teams in the NFL. But we have some retirements here, and one of them is going to be Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen retires. That is great for us because he had a massive cap hit, actually, as well. I actually did a test run on this franchise before they hired Dave Canales, just kind of running through it, kind of see what it would look like. And, yeah, was stuck with Adam Thielen. Could not figure out a way to get rid of that contract. Like, he's not a tradable contract. No one wants a, 35-year-old receiver. I'm not sure if he's that old, but an older receiver, downside of his career. You see Russell Wilson also retires. So we're going to get right into re-signings here. Yatur Gross-Matos is going to be back on a short-term deal. And then Brian Burns, kind of the franchise player here. We're going to give him a massive contract. He ends up sticking around as well. J.C. Horn, we have the 5th-year option. We're going to accept that as well. And what else we have here? We also going to look through here. Jeremy Chin says he doesn't want to re-sign, but we're going to give him a little bit more money. It really doesn't help. It's kind of easy to kind of bridge the gap on guys who don't want to stay with you, and you just give them a couple more millions of dollars, and they stick around. Everyone else, we're going to let walk. That means Laviska Shenault, CJ Henderson, DJ Chark, and let those guys walk. And, yeah, just have to do that. Just, can't bring everyone back, and we still have to build this defense up a little bit, but also we're going to take a little step back here on defense. Shaq Thompson is age 30, and we're going to try to get a little younger at that linebacker position, that off-ball linebacker position. Going to probably end up spending more money on it, but still want to get younger at it. And We're going to trade for John Mechie in 2 picks, a 2025 5th and a 2024 7. So make that move. So John Mechie, the 3rd, out of Alabama. I'm pretty sure he played with Bryce Young. Bring him on, 74 overall. I really like John Mechie coming out of college. I believe he had leukemia or something like that, if I'm correct. So he missed his rookie year dealing with that. Was able to come back and started to kind of show himself a little bit. But I think there's a lot of upside here with him, and he looks pretty good, so we're going to bring him in. And this team needs receiver help, so why not go and get a guy a little bit cheaper, bring him in. Team also needs help on the defensive line, and one of these guys we're going to have to go after is Javon Kinlaw. Again, had a lot of expectations when he got drafted by the 49ers, I believe. 3 years, $17 million. Try to bring him in. Looking around here, Patrick Queen is a free agent. And same overall as Shaq Thompson, but also age 25. So has an opportunity to be a really good player for a longer period of time. So we're going to go, 5 years. We give him like close to $60 million. Trying to get that. That's a bit of a long shot, honestly. So we're going to go with something a little bit cheaper here. Isaiah Simmons. We're going to get a kind of 3-year. We're going to get pretty close here, around $21 million. See if we can get him on that deal. We'd love to get one of those players. We get both. That'd be really cool. But we only get Isaiah Simmons, but we do get Javon Kinlaw. Patrick Queen was not interested in being a Carolina Panther. Maybe if we were a little bit better, we would have been. We'd have had to maybe go a lot more expensive on the contract, but there's a limit to how expensive and how much money you can throw at a guy before it kind of just gets ridiculous. Take a look here at some of these free agent signings where other guys end up. Patrick Queen, he ends up with the Texans. So the Texans have completely rebuilt their off-ball linebacker core to get Shaq Thompson and Patrick Queen. So pretty good stuff right there. Geno Stone ends up going to the Green Bay Packers. Lael Collins. I didn't sign any of these linemen in this free agency class just because they were all older. Still need another linebacker. This is going to be Kyrus Barnes. I believe he plays with the 49ers. I'm correct. I might be wrong on that. I'm not 100% sure. But I do remember him in Green Bay. He was pretty good. And we're going to try to bring him in as well. Keisean Nixon. Just got to rebuild that cornerback room as well. We had a bunch of low-level guys on there that we ended up releasing. 2 years, almost $8 million for Keisean Nixon. Jeff Okudah. This is, once again, another little 2-year deal. And around $8 million. So I'm looking around should I go up, down on him? But we just give him that deal. I wasn't 100% sure if he would just accept that. Then we're going to go with Antonio Hamilton here. Kind of just a lower back end guy. 71 overall, 31 years old. Just a 1-year deal on him. Don't want to extend a guy out that long who's at that age. Need another receiver as well, just for depth. And Bo Melton actually played pretty well for the Packers this past season, late. So 2 years, $7 million for Bo Melton. Bring him in. And so Jeff Okudah, we get Keisean Nixon and Kyrus Barnes, Jeff Okudah. So pretty good stuff right there. Still needs some help on the defensive line. So this is going to have to be DJ Jones. And we're going to go a little bit cheaper here, just on a 1-year deal. $5 million. Hand him that. And then looking around again, Tano Pasagade. I hope I'm saying that right. 1-year deal for him as well. Just a depth piece, honestly, at this point. We don't have the most money. I'm probably cheaping out a little bit, but gotta do that. Montravius Adams, we're gonna give him a little bit less money too, kind of shortchange him. And yeah, make that salary a little bit more. $3.8 million for him, 1 year. And let's hopefully those guys sign. And we do get Montravius Adams, which is, I think, a decent, just depth, again, just a depth signing for us. Come back down here again, and we get DJ Jones and Tano Pasanag. I hope that's Kapasanang. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, both older players, just little cheap deals right there. So we get into the draft. And this can't be a sexy draft. It just can't. We just don't have the assets. We lack a first round pick. And so we have to be pretty you know, I didn't sign any offensive linemen. I didn't go after any guards, anyone on the interior, or an extra tackle. Because, you know, Moton's a little bit older, need another tackle. So Jackson Powers Johnson looks pretty good. If he's there at the first pick of the second round, that's who we're going to take. Because we need to rebuild that interior of the offensive line, and we have to do it in the draft. We just do. I mean, just there's no one there that I wanted to draft. So let's pause this draft and let's go through the first about 10 or so picks. So the Bears, they take Caleb Williams. Full transparency, I had to lower Justin Fields' ratings actually to get this done. Because the last time I did it, the Bears took, I forgot who they took, but they didn't take a quarterback. So Caleb Williams gets drafted there to the Bears. Had to lower Justin Fields. Justin Fields' ratings are probably too high, and this is where I probably should have raised Kyler Murray's ratings a little bit. Should have made him a little bit higher overall, but they take Drake May, Cardinals. The Patriots, they take Fashanu, left tackle at Penn State, so I guess they're sticking with Mac Jones. And then the Commanders, this is also nothing, probably should have lowered, they take Joe Alt, probably should have lowered Sam Howell's ratings as well. Taliz Fuaga goes number 2 there to the Titans. He's actually, in real life, he's actually flying up boards. Amiris Mims to the Titans there. Latu goes to the Giants. Jaden Daniels goes to the Jets. And Cooper DeJean goes to the Falcons. And the Bears, who do the Bears take? They take Marvin Harrison Jr. right there. So the Bears still end up with Marvin Harrison Jr., even all the way at 10. So they get that. So Brian Thomas Jr., last pick of the first round, goes to the 49ers. So we're looking around here. There's still some receivers here. These guys would be really nice if this offensive line was a lot better. So it's not. So we have to go center here. We just do. Got to build for the future of this offensive line, and that's going to be Jackson Powers Johnson. Looks really good here. Ratings look good. B's and A's. Only a C in stamina. But yeah, run block is A to B. Run block finesse is A to B. His numbers just look good. We're going to take him. 87 strength, 80 acceleration, and hidden dev. So that's a positive. Shout out to the guy who made this draft class. Again, I have to say that. Yeah, every offensive lineman I've drafted in this game, I don't think I've ever drafted one with hidden dev. And I think linemen should get hidden dev a little bit more often than they should, because there's not too many ways to raise their dev. So we're trying to trade here. Second pick of the draft, I was not able to record because my Elgato kind of crapped out. So we trade a bunch of 5th round picks and a 4th for a additional 3rd. 2 5ths this year, a 5th next year, a 4th this year, to move all the way back into the early part of the 3rd round. And this is going to be another guard or another interior offensive lineman. Zach Zinter, I believe he is out of Michigan if I'm correct, but looks decent enough. Kind of a risk here, but B pass block, C run block, B block power, lead block is B to D. So we're hoping maybe that's at very least in the C range, but B to D awareness, impact block is an A, and we're gonna go with Zach Zinter here. And he looks I don't know why they only give you the athletic ratings, because you can go right after the draft and look at their full ratings. Just give me back looking at the full ratings, but either way, looks decent. Also hidden dev as well. So we have the long way to sim until our next pick. We don't pick again until, if I'm correct, this is the 6th round of the draft. Pick 2, 6th round. Let's go take another look, another crack at see who's here. And this is probably going to be a receiver. Still some decent receivers on the board here. Thought about Jalen McMillan, but decided to not do that. Jermaine Burton out of Alabama, 4.38 speed. Looks pretty decent here. B deep route, C release out of Alabama. Pretty sure might be another guy that might have played with. Bryce Young, 92 speed here, 92 acceleration, normal dev, which is, that's not the worst thing in the world. Take him, and pretty decent player this late in the draft, honestly. So we'll take it. 7th round, our final pick here in the draft, and none of my favorites are left as I went through the draft, looking through here, and we're coming back, looking through, so my phone goes off. Thought about maybe one of these running backs. None of them look that good, so not going to go with a running back. And we're going to come here to the cornerbacks here. And Nehemiah Pritchard out of Auburn. Looks like a pretty good athlete, honestly. Good speed, good acceleration. Everything else looks solid. So we take him. 91 acceleration, 92 speed, 88 change of direction, 86 jumping, 88 agility. Not great strength, but apart from that, he looks pretty decent for a 7th round pick, honestly, in terms of just as a pure athlete. And that is going to do it for our 2024 draft. Again, didn't really have as many assets as I would have liked. There was other guys who I really wanted to draft, but Jackson Powers Johnson at 72 overall, not bad. You see our second pick of the draft in the 3rd round is Kieran Amagjadi, I believe that's how you pronounce that. 67 overall, but he is a hidden dev as well. So he looks pretty decent, actually. 88 strength. Blocking ratings are fine, honestly, for a rookie. I have to say, the guy who made this draft class actually, I think, did a really good job on the ratings and everything like that. So check this one out. I feel like other ones, guys have just been rated way too high. So every team just is like drafting like 75 overall guys like in the 5th round. We get Zach Zinter here, 69 overall. We traded up for him, and he looks pretty decent, honestly. One of the things I like here, you got to remember with Madden, that awareness rating does matter a lot to their overalls. So they still have some pretty good ratings here. It's just the awareness is down. So I like that. Injury looks good. Looks like a good player, honestly. Could start for us, honestly. There's a chance he might start. Jackson Powers Johnson's going to start. Amagjadi, that is going to be a little tougher. Kieran Amagjadi, not sure if he's going to start on the right side of that line or not, but Jermaine Burton, 72 overall. Not bad, honestly. Not bad at all. That late in the draft to get a guy 72 overall, I think is fantastic. Not even going to complain about the dev trade or anything like that. That is just a really just solid pick, honestly. 92 speed, acceleration looks good. His route running looks good. Spec catch looks decent. Release could be better. That's something we'll have to work on as well. But he looks really good, honestly. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that pick, honestly. Kind of a pick. Wasn't a guy I looked at pre-draft. Just kind of grabbed him. Nehemiah Pritchard is 23, but rookie out of Auburn. He looks decent too, honestly. 67 overall, 92 speed, man coverage 65, zone coverage 64, play rec 63. Press is not bad either. Not a good catcher. If he was, he'd be playing on the other side. Awareness is a 64, so that's something that we're going to have to get up. As you always have to. That awareness rating does mean a lot. So Caleb Williams ends up going to the Bears, which we do like. Drake May goes to the Cardinals. Not as realistic. We do not like. But yeah, it's weird. It seems like those tags they put on players still don't mean anything. It seems like it's still kind of based on overall. I think Kyler Murray just had too low of an overall. Look through the rest of this first round on guys that we missed out on. There was a few tackles that I thought about that I would have been willing to trade back into the second if a tackle was still there. And that was Tyler Guyton. He went to the Chiefs. If he was there at the first pick of the second round, I would have drafted him and then traded back in to the second round. I would have traded next year's first to get Jackson Powers Johnson. I think Guyton would have been a really good guy, because then we could have traded away Moton and could have saved some cap there too. Jeremiah Trotter was a guy who I thought about as well if he was still there at the top of the third. He wasn't, so Kieran Amagjadi was who we had to go with there. Then we traded back into the third to get Zach Zinter. So take a look. So that was a decent draft, I think, honestly. So we come right in here into training camp, and I usually do these once or twice, and that's once I do it the second time, whatever the rating I get is kind of just the rating I deal with. I don't like trying to do these and try to game the system to get gold. I think there should be an option to set how many times you can attempt it, and you kind of just get the best score out of your multiple attempts. So we get silver on there, 1500 XP. John Mechie. Here we're doing the wide receiver one, and I got pretty good at this one, actually. We're already here at silver. fake this way, come back the other way, and create some separation. Pretty good right there. So Mechie, we get gold here. I normally don't get gold on this one, but I've done this enough times now. We get the middle of the field right here, and we're just getting gold here. I like doing these once or twice personally. Then we take a deep shot here to get the 100, and we get gold, so we are going to get the XP and the skill point. I was hoping for maybe a random dev trait upgrade for Mechie. That'd be great to get. That's one of our goals for the season, is try to get him a dev trait upgrade. And we're out here with Jermaine Burton, and trying, this is like the second attempt here, and we can't get the gold. Missed getting that 400 piece a few times, so we still, with this one, with the silver, you get the skill point right there, so we'll take the silver on that one. And now we're here doing one of the defensive back drills. I did this like 3 times. I got screwed a few times where like the guy just wouldn't animate with Pritchard, so we still get the skill point for him, so we'll take it as well. And that is basically going to do it for training camp. Got some upgrades here to do. John Mechie the third, got 2 upgrades for him, and we're going to give him playmaker for that one. Short route, catching traffic looks good. Juke move, awareness, catching traffic, all that other good stuff. We're going to go back here, playmaker one more time for him. And we get +2 break tackle, +5 catching, +3 short route. So some good upgrades for him, getting that short route up. Kind of interested in how he's going to play. He is going to be our 1 technically, but might be a guy I might want to put in the slot as well. But we'll see. I think a guy that we can move around a lot. Yatur, Gross, Matos, gonna need a big year from him. Just, has not shown particularly a lot in his NFL career at this point. And I think we have him, on a 1-year or 2-year deal. So relatively cheap. Time for him to kind of show up, put up or shut up with Yatur, Gross, Matos. I think at this point in his career, just is what it is at this point. And then Jermaine Burton gets an upgrade too. So we get +2 medium route, +2 short route, +2 spin move, awareness, and catching traffic, and ball carrier vision. I have no idea if that does anything when you're actually controlling the player. Maybe someone smarter will let me know, but pretty good player for a rookie, honestly. Might be one of our best receivers already. And then Nehemiah Pritchard, we get an upgrade here. Trying to go press here. Not the best upgrade. We get +2 tackle. Probably going to be a special teamer his first year. Don't expect him to play a lot. So week 1, we're going to be taking on the New Orleans Saints. Our goal is to win double our games that we won last season, and that is going to be 4 because we only won 2, and 2 + 2 is 4, and also I believe 2 times 2 is 4. I could be wrong on that though. Don't take my word for that. Don't take my word for that. I'm not the best at math, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So we get our opening day goal, and our goal is to play good defense. Yes, defense. A lot of our free agent monies went into defense. Granted, we didn't go out there and get the best defenders, but we got some pretty, I don't know, decent. We got really good guys at linebacker, I think, and then some kind of just decent corners. So our next draft class is going to be auto-generated. I don't like trying to use, 2025 classes. That stuff's a little too out there for me. So this looks like a pretty good defensive class, and I like that. I like a good defensive class. Some quarterbacks in there, but some defensive ends, some outside linebackers. I believe there's a tackle in there too in the top 10 prospects. So Yatur, Gross, Matos, better step it up, or your replacement is going to get drafted here. Might still get drafted anyways because they'll be on a cheap 5-year contract because we'll have our own first-round pick. So when we come back, it is going to be the start of season 1, I guess I'll call it. Year 1. That was year 0. This is year 1 for us. But either way, what do you guys think of the team that we kind of built on a shoestring budget somewhat here? What do you guys think of that shoestring budget when it came to draft picks? Didn't have the most draft picks, so I think we made the most of it, honestly. So we come back, We're going to look at the final roster. Still some holes that need to be plugged here on this team before we play our first game against the New Orleans Saints. And if I'm correct, the New Orleans Saints drafted Michael Penix Jr. So Bryce Young versus Penix Jr. Week 1 of the 2024 NFL season. So if you want to see more Panthers franchise, be sure to hit like, be sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.